Greetings, Benjamin and Jerry from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, another delivery from eBay. This is a Lionel Scout 246. Not 246 wheel arrangement, that's the number, 246. Anyway, just arrived. Quite the salubrious day here in Pekin, Illinois. About 80 degrees. I have the windows open in the train room. This just arrived, so I don't have to let it warm up. It's actually nice outside. So, do the grand unboxing here. Looks like it opens on this end. So, like I said, I found this on eBay, $9. It's been really badly painted with a brush. Now, I originally bought it for parts, but I talked to the guy. He said it actually runs well, so we will see. And no styrofoam peanuts, which is good. There's the locomotive. All right, get this out of the way. Let's see what we have here. Well, it's wrapped fairly well. Real well, in fact. All right, let's see what we have here. Well, it's been really badly painted. He was correct. So as you can see, it's been painted with a brush. It's got speckles of red paint on it, silver paint on the domes, silver paint on one side and on one of the cylinders. But it turns freely, it is complete, and according to the guy I bought it from, it says it's a strong runner. We're going to find out. I'm going to put a drop of oil on the main gearing as usual. Now on the Lionels, you cannot get to the armature bearing. It's encased in plastic. Alright, let me grab the camera off the tripod. Let's take a look at this thing and see what we have. Alright, as you can see, it's been painted really poorly with a brush, it appears. So there's silver paint on the cylinder, this one side. Here, the domes. A bit of some of the detail. This side is speckled with red paint. There's a big blue stripe there for some reason. In any case, it's a Lionel Scout locomotive. Plastic motor, of course, but it is complete and it was cheap. $9. So as usual, I'm going to put this on the outside rail and we're going to see how this runs, or if it runs for that matter. All right, let me put this locomotive in neutral so we can use the rail. Okay, let's see what happens. Turn on the power. Here we go. It runs in reverse. It runs forward. Wow, it actually runs quite well. And the E-unit is working. No doubt. Light bulb is out. So as you can see, that was worth $9. There's no doubt about that. Now, the only time I buy Lionel is when I can get it cheap. Lionel is, in most cases, prohibitively expensive. For the cost of one Lionel locomotive, you can usually buy 3 or 4 Marx locomotives. But in this case, this is a plastic shell. So all I have to do is pull the shell off, spray it black, and it will look just like it did when it came out of the factory. I can mask off the numbers and save those as well. So a Lionel 246. Now, the problem with Lionel, in my opinion, is they all look the same. They all have the same push rods, they all have the same wheels, they all have the same general design and layout. And one nice thing about Marx, of course, is that all of their model locomotives were different. The 999, the 666, 1666, 595, 898, they all look different, whereas Lionel all look the same. And they're just exactly alike. No matter what model you have, they are the same. Die cast, plastic, it doesn't make any difference. They all look basically the same. All right, let's bring up the 1666, since it's right here on the rail. Pull it off, and we'll put on this Lionel and see how it pulls. All right, so we are ready to run. Let's take this around and see how we do. Okay, there's 50% power, about. Well, as you see, that runs just absolutely perfectly. I haven't done anything to it at all except 2 drops of oil. That's running really, really well. Pulling 12 Lionel carbs. So you cannot beat the cost. $9. Now in about 10 minutes you can pull this apart, respray that shell, and this will look just like it did when it came out of the factory. So as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. $9 on eBay. And as you see, this is running just absolutely splendidly. Forward and backwards. So I'm happy with it. $9. Really difficult to beat the cost. There's no doubt about that. So a Lionel Scout 246. And as you can see, I don't have to do anything to it at all other than pull the motor out of it and respray the shell and of course replace the light bulb. It has a lens. It's in overall good condition. There's no major appreciable amount of damage to it at all. Just somebody went crazy with a paintbrush, very likely a kid, and thought they could clean it up or make it look nicer. And of course, in cases like this, all they usually do is wind up making it virtually valueless compared to the standard Lionel. If this hadn't been painted, it would have sold for probably 3 times that amount. Anyway, as I always stress, you judge a locomotive by how it runs, not by how it looks. And like I said, the guy I bought it from said it was actually a strong runner. It just looked bad. And it does. It looks terrible, in fact. So it won't take much to turn this around and clean it up. Like I said, it's got, I don't know what this is, obviously orange paint. I think he was trying for a rust effect that didn't work. There's a big blue stripe there. I have no idea what that's about. It's not glue. It appears to be paint. Unless it's broken someplace that I can't see. But it does not appear to be glue. It appears to be paint. And again, the drawback to Lionel, I think, is that they all look the same. They all have the same cylinder heads, the slides, push rods, wheels, general design, layout. Whether it's a metal locomotive or a plastic locomotive, they all look the same. So what I'll do is just mask off this strip right here and pull the motor out of this, give it a quick spray of black paint, and this is going to look virtually new. There's no appreciable amount of damage to it. It looks like there were originally 2 markers that have been broken off, although it is hard to say because that is actually quite smooth. So in any case, $9 on eBay. And it's running. I don't have to do anything to it at all. That's the neat thing about it. It's up and running. So I'll pull it apart, of course, and clean it and lubricate it. But as you can see, it was definitely worth the $9. So a few drops of oil. It'll take 10 minutes to get this repainted, literally. So I'll just pull the motor out of it, mask off the numbers, spray it completely black. It'll look just like it did when it came out of the factory. Do a bit of cleanup on it and oil it, lubricate it, and clean it. There's nothing else that I have to do to this. It's running. It's running absolutely perfectly. Forward and reverse. So like I said, I only buy Lionel when I can get them cheap. I'm not a fan of Lionel, especially these plastic motors. These plastic motors are completely modular. And they're a nightmare to work on. In most cases, the recommendation is that you open them in a shoebox to catch all the parts that come flying out of it. Anyway, it is difficult to work on. It's really simple to take it apart. Putting it back together again is a whole different ball game. So in any case, I'll pull this out, replace the light bulb, and respray this shell. And I could probably touch it up with a marker, but it would be a lot easier just to respray it, I think. And this will look virtually new. $9 on eBay. Really difficult to beat the cost. The nice thing about it, of course, is the fact that it's a running original Lionel locomotive, 246 Scout. This is called. I looked this up. So anyway, just want to do a quick unboxing and running video. So no problem with it at all. Right out of the box. 2 drops of oil, and it is up and running. So it's not going to take anything at all to clean this up. I'll do a video later tonight. I'll take it apart, respray it. This is going to look brand new when it's finished. And that new coat of paint will literally make this look like it just came out of the factory. So I'll pull the motor out, plunk it down in some soapy water, get all the grime and the crud off of it, respray it black, reassemble it, and this is going to look like a brand new locomotive. Anyway, a Lionel 246 Scout locomotive, eBay, $9. Really, really difficult to beat that. As I always stress, don't overlook the junk. Just a few minutes, this is going to be looking like a brand new locomotive. Absolutely dirt cheap. Like I said, the only time I buy a Lionel is when I can get it absolutely cut rate prices. So, I'm pleased with it. It runs good. It's going to look nice in a few minutes. So I just want to do a quick unboxing video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.